Alright, so this will be this piece of that this explanation is basically for the people and you know, in the past I saw like people had like the Google camera eyes. And then well what I knew was what those people online were actually doing. They were hacking those. And then they have a bunch of cops and S&M that like to sell VR access to people with VR goggles. And then they like to beam John Malkovich out of everybody's fucking eyes. And then they like to train at like doing low volume suggestions because a lot of those people that had those camera eyes also had a pair of speakers. And that they like to basically put on VR goggles. And then they basically have like a computer microphone hack into the speakers, and then they just some dumb Mormon always like turns it down real low, and then they sit there in their pedo bang shades group, basically selling access to people's cameras. So essentially, what ends up happening is they end up like they always have a few cops or in it, and then all of a sudden it turns into when they get noticed that essentially some cop comes out and acts like they stumbled upon some hack on somebody's cameras. So, this is how you can tell that they're part of the VR exploitation groups and not any actual like law enforcement at all. They may be in law enforcement but that they're not actually doing that. Because if they were doing that, once they find the hack on those cameras, the next step is to go up to the victim face to face and to inform them and to be showing them how they found a hack on their camera eyes. And if they refuse to do that, if they have all these roundabout secret like justifications and shit like that, they're the ones causing the hack. And that is basically how you can tell. And so that essentially is like where I wondered why these police officers, because I had seen them claiming to have found hacks on camera eyes, and then they weren't informing the victims. They were sitting around VR talking in their speakers and doing the goggle shit just like every other fucking sick fuck. I mean, literally. And so then they also seem to have this theoretic about being law enforcement that you can go around and label people however they want, and then they justify breaking laws in the same fucking way as everybody else. Okay? They're supposed to be conducting themselves in a legal fashion, and that if they're just going to be in an S&M club sitting around doing all the illegal psychotic shit that all the other fucking clubbers do, then they're just the other fucking clubbers also. And so just because they have a fucking badge doesn't make one bit of difference. It doesn't. They're just as fucking guilty as everybody fucking else. See, if they're going to be using their badge, then they have to be following the laws. And if they're going to use their badge as some sort of weird behind the scenes, like, then that's why I say if their badge pushes them to be informing the victim in a face-to-face way. And so that's where, yeah, they have years and years of little itty bitty, like, semantic group arguments and counter-ops and explanations and shit. And yeah, all of them are basically imbeciles. And that one of the things that I know about stupid little fucking imbeciles is that there's always a potential for a very concise, easy to follow, logical explanation that works against anything that they say. See? Like informing in a face-to-face, official fucking way. That is what a real, official law enforcement does. And if they don't do that, then they are not being official and they are breaking laws just like the rest of the people that they found. Alright? It's just another way of all they do. This is what happens. When usually like the sleazeballs are usually like running the camera exploitation on those people with the camera eyes down in LA. Most of the time, sleazeballs are running that stuff. And then eventually, people notice that they're just sleazeballs, and then it like gets taken over by some sort of magical internal law group who essentially catches it from being exposed because the internal law group is also basically slaving the sleazeballs into running that stuff and then collecting all the 50 fuck truck money and coffee shit, okay, on like a secret group card that they have from an S&M. And so they're a bust prevention team, basically, that essentially acts like they found it, but they're actually working internally with the sleazeball groups that run the day-to-day operations of that exploitation. And so, one of the ways that I noticed that they're so stupid nowadays, that all of their like explanations are just so fucking outside of all fucking logic in lots of ways, that is where this theoretical idea in the past basically had like people that would always have, see, it's like they used to have these older just voyeur sites that would magically get found, okay, by police officers, and that they used to always have like an actual logical explanation to other hackers, kind of. It would always be logical or seemingly better than what they were doing, than what they do nowadays. See, nowadays they piece together whole weird explanations that mean nothing, that don't make any sense, and that's basically how easy it is to find them, by these weird video manipulation filter ideas and movements and shit. And it's like most of these people just don't realize that that stuff would have never been stated about older voyeur sites that get found in a similar way. And that you people that came up with this weird fucking weirding way shit, you people, it sounds crazy. Your guys' all the things that you guys say sounds crazy. And so the whole idea is that your guys' bitch brain Nazi pedocuck methodology of only accepting craziness and making people psychologically break down from your S&M methods and shit. When the federal government eventually breaks your guys' cybersecurity down, they'll be able to pull out all that information and they'll be able to bust all of you with it. And that they will. See, currently the only evidence exists inside of an S&M that you people are able to keep the data from flowing out of. But once they get that data, then you'll all be arrested. Then all of your guys' little Nazi pedocuck methodology of being diametric and logic about everything and laughing about how people notice your guys' weirding ways and shit like that. You people, that's what gets you guys focused on. See, everybody else attempts to have some sort of better explanation for everything, and that when you guys are blatantly just being psychotic and having massive illogical reasonings for everything, that is what focuses people on breaking down the cybersecurity. And that's what focuses federal law enforcement on arresting all of you. Just remember that the more you all do the bitch brain Nazi pedocuck method, the more you people are obviously the main targets for that shit. That's the shit that gets noticed the most. And those are the people that get the most effort put in to busting their little psychotic little tech club fucking S&M. So, if you guys thought that some weird theory about fucking auto-tunes and microphones and shit would give you people any justification for doing anything, people aren't allowed to go around and to torture people with technology. And then if you guys are going to switch to your guys' stupid little Tea Party hatred of AI reasoning, then you guys are even more psychotic. So just remember that all of you people that developed this like response plan to being outed for doing all that shit, people, just because you guys were sitting there having a Mormon temple accepting all of your guys' dumb, retarded, weird way explanations, now there's a federal government that sees what your guys' explanations are. And so if you guys want to stand in the position of being the people that are basically just sitting there, once they get access to that shit, then you'll all be thrown in a prison. And so if you guys want to bring the heat, doing the bitch brain semantics, you people are fucking crazy. You guys aren't on top of the world. You people are just merely have an AI that prevents the fucking evidence from making it onto a server in the federal government. And that's a very, that's a bad position to be in. Alright? And that, I know you guys been doing it for so long. You guys think you're the biggest tech psychos on top of the fucking world all the fucking time. I know exactly what you guys fucking think like. I know what your guys' little semantic, red fucking hack, fucking weird 90s pedophile fucking semantic shit and fucking psycho and Chewy fucking obsession shit and fucking slaving kids and blah 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 slaves and our fucking ripped off diamonds and blah blah blah. I know exactly what you people are like. Remember when you guys ran around and made pornography of raping little girls everywhere? You guys remember that?